Silver Jubilee is a time to reflect, reinvigorate, and reinvent. For Pragna Bharati, a premier nationalist intellectual forum, this is also a time of rededication to the cause that it holds dear to its heart. Pragna Bharati, which is a pioneering nationalist think tank, is founded by scholars, thinkers, and visionaries. It began in 6 by 8 feet room with a table and a couple of broken chairs and no phone. But its journey is incredible. It sailed through turbulent times and changed the course of the discourse in its own way.
This movement has started in a room which was 6 feet by 8 feet room allocated to us in a Jagrati office with a small table and 3 chairs. And in this room, we used to take the decisions, and this room was at Narayanguda, Hyderabad, Jagrati office in 1992. Under the leadership of Sri Ram Madhavji, who was Pracharak at that time. We moved from no phone to a landline, from a pager to the mobile, and established a network with over 5,000 active members and over 1 lakh supporters for Pragna Bharati. The main objective of Pragna Bharati is to build a discourse for national rejuvenation on topics ranging from education, economics, elections, technology, judiciary, corruption, medical and health, etc. Through debates, conferences, brainstorming sessions, etc. Many national and international luminaries from government, corporate, industry, scholars, journalists, politicians, scientists, social activists, advocates, jurists, all have participated as a resource person for our programs. Many of our programs have contributed substantially and have reached to the policy implementation regardless of the government at the center or at the set. This was the achievement of our Pragna Bharati.
Along the way, towering intellectual giants spoke from Pragna Bharati Forum. The sublime philosophy evolved by the ancient Bharatiya genius and the social system, aiming at the evolution of man into a higher being. By pursuing the Indian holistic approach is the only remedy for the modern day problems. And Pragna Bharati has been spreading this truth among people, among intellectuals, through its relentless activities. 2017 is the year of Pragna Bharati's Silver Jubilee. The Silver Jubilee celebrations began with a bang on April 8, 2017. The venue, Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan Auditorium, Bashirbagh. The program began with Vande Mataram.
Malayaj Sheetalam Sarasya Shyamalam Mataram Vande Mataram.
And the traditional lighting of lamp.
It gives me great pleasure to welcome you. My friend Sharmaji has told you, and the small presentation that was given about Pragna Bharati would let you know what it is, a platform of intellectuals for free discussions of every subject so that patriotism and nationalism shall prevail and should defeat the modern Dushta Chatustaya, which is waging war against Bharat and Dharma. Pragna Bharati has been waging a determined struggle against these people in order to present to people, young people especially, the true history and heritage of India, which says Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. I invite all of you to support the Pragna Bharati, join it, read its journals, Bharatiya Pragna, and as a supplement, a journal called Secularism Combat, which was inaugurated by Advaniji in 2003, and both these journals are being edited by me, assisted by my wonderful colleagues, especially Mr. Nagaraju and Mr. B.S. Sharma and others, all of them. I request you to patronize those journals so that you are intellectually armed in order to take on this Dushta Chatustaya. I once again welcome you. I am very, very grateful that so many of you have come and you will have great messages from great people. Dhanyavad.
Vice Chancellor of Andhra University called for reinventing Indian science.
India has the most scientific way of life. India has glorious past in science. If you go to Vimana Shastra, whole world recognizes that the concept of Vimana was conceived by Indian seers and saints. And if you look at guided missiles, whole world right now recognized that this has been the concept of the Indians. Indian way of life is the most scientific way of life. That's how, if you look at the glorious past and if you look at the future of this country, now we proudly say India is a developed country and India is going to be the superpower with the knowledge of humans and Indians.
Osmania University Vice Chancellor Professor Ramachandram underscored the need for skill development and intellectual debate in the country.
I congratulate Pragna Bharati on the occasion of Silver Jubilee celebrations. I express my sincere thanks for the honor have been given to be the guest of honor here on this occasion. I also take this opportunity to thank the entire committee members of Pragna Bharati for dedicating their time and energy. I appreciate the efforts of Pragna Bharati for their effort in preserving Bharatiya ethos and the traditions.
Former Union Minister for HRD Purandeshwari said Pragna Bharati can play an important role in addressing the human resource development needs of the nation.
We know that we do have a large population in our country and education needs to be accessible to all of them. We speak of the governments spending about 6% of the GDP for education, but we know that just for the governments or it to be public spending would not enable us to reach the 6% that we intend to reach. We need to do out of the box thinking to make sure that we have this huge pool of talent or intelligence that we have in our country in the form of our children to actually access schools. We know that there is the rural and the urban divide when it comes to education. Even as we talk of education and we look at Sri Satish Reddy ji who's sitting on the dais, the next question that would come to our mind is how much of it that we are spending on research in our country itself. I think that's a very important and a huge question that we need to answer. And as an example, if I am to quote an example to all of you, we know that the world looks up to India as a great IT power, in information technology power. But unfortunately, our own country, which is considered a great IT power, has to look towards other countries for solutions and bring them back into our country. That is the kind of research, sadly, that is happening in our country. We know that we need to spend at least 4% of our GDP on research, but we know that it is anywhere between 1 to 2% that we are spending on research. And that 1 to 2% is also public spending, and this means that we need to get a lot more of the private sector into actually entering research. And if we do, if we are successful in ensuring that we reach the 4% of GDP to be spent on research, I am sure there can be no power in the world that can prevent India from becoming the greatest economic power in the world. We know our rural India, even as we talk of the developed India, we know there is a poor cousin, the Bharat, on the other side, which is actually crying for solutions. And it is here that research actually needs to step in to ensure that it can bring the Bharat on par with India, and that is what can make our country, India, one of the best nations in the world.
As part of the inaugural, the annual Pragna Puraskar has been given to Satish Reddy, Scientific Advisor to Defence Minister.
Today we have felicitated Satish Reddy ji, an accomplished innovator, I will say. Because on one PSLV, they sent and placed at right orbit 104 satellites. That was not debated only in India, but it was debated in the Senate, and the government, Trump government also said that this is how India is emerging. So they were really taken aback in a way that this is our achievement. Yes, but we need to innovate more. And therefore, our first congratulations, Satish Reddy ji, you are leading our innovation efforts in a way.
Speaking on the occasion, the aerospace scientist said it is an award to the entire scientific community of the nation.
Let me thank Pragna Bharati for bestowing this award, prestigious award, and felicitating me for the work what has been done by the defense scientists of the country. I thank all the organizers for their gesture towards the defense scientists of the country. In fact, it's a proud privilege to receive such an award from a prestigious institute like Pragna Bharati, which has felicitated very eminent personalities till now through the years. In fact, the award goes to the entire scientific community, the defense R&D scientists who have been working with us, who have dedicated in the last 30 to 40 years developing many systems. The award is to all of them, as a symbolically it is felicitated to me, representing all of them here. I also congratulate Pragna Bharati and my best wishes on the occasion of Silver Jubilee.
Nirmala Sitharaman, Union Minister for Commerce, who was associated with Pragna Bharati for quite some time, said Pragna Bharati has an important role to play in carrying on the nationalistic intellectual activity with renewed vigor.
It feels as if I'm continuing to be a office bearer of Pragna Bharati. The memories are very strong and fresh. Those were very initial days when I was associated, but I've been very keenly observing the 25 years of Pragna Bharati, and it gives great satisfaction to know that the fire with which the organization was started, particularly at a difficult time when discussing issues which were closer to our ideology, was almost like taboo. We've come very far away from that, from those days, and to be able to have a forum which frequently, without failing, raises, discusses, and also brings to the public domain all the strands of an argument which make up for a case on every issue which is contentious and contemporary in our public space. That way, I think the flag has been very held high by Pragna Bharati. I really congratulate them for having kept up the work and for today standing up for 25 years of hard work. It actually has created a stream of such organizations all over the country. I know every year there is also this meet where all of them from different parts of the country meet and exchange and share their experiences from around the country. But now that the party which is akin to this ideology is in power, the momentum cannot be lost. The momentum is actually got to be manifold now, because the narrative is still sometimes so muddled that you really do not know what are the strands of this side or that side of a particular issue, and an intelligent, discerning debate does not take place on any issue. The task which Pragna Bharati so effectively has performed over the 25 years is actually now got to be performed even more with a great concern that information and sharing of information is done with a lot more clarity, facts are brought out, and issues are reaching people who want the issues to be laid before them.
Union Minister for Labour Bandaru Dattatreya underscored the need for intellectually equipping the nationalist forces.
స్వతంత్రం వచ్చిన తర్వాత 1947 తర్వాత ఎక్కువగా డిబేట్స్, డిస్కషన్స్ అన్నీ కూడా చేయడానికి ఎక్కువ ది సోకాల్డ్ లెఫ్ట్ ఇంటలెక్చువల్స్ వాళ్ళు ఎక్కువగా మాట్లాడుతూ వాళ్ళు మన అనేవారు ఏంటంటే ఈ రైట్ వింగ్ పీపుల్ ఎవరుతున్నారు వీళ్ళు ఎప్పుడు దే ఆర్ నాట్ ఓపెన్ డైలాగ్, ఓపెన్ డిస్కషన్, డిబేట్ రారు. కానీ చాలా సంతోషము, ప్రజ్ఞా భారతి 25 సంవత్సరాల కాలంలో అతి క్లిష్టమైనటువంటి దేశ సమయంలో అనేకమైనటువంటి దేశ సమస్యల మీద ప్రజ్ఞా భారతి అనేకమైనటువంటి సెమినార్స్ చేపట్టి ఈ దేశానికి చాలా అమూల్యమైనటువంటి ఒక సందేశాన్ని ఇచ్చినటువంటి ఒక జాతీయమైనటువంటి ఏకైక సంస్థ ప్రజ్ఞా భారతి అని నేను మీకు హృదయపూర్వకంగా మనం చేస్తాను. బికాస్ ఇన్ ఇండియా దెర్ ఆర్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ ఇజమ్స్ are there, but ultimately the Pragna Bharati proved that nationalism is the only solution for problems of the people.
The Union HRD Minister said understanding the psyche of India is very important. He said the present government was pro-poor and sought Pragna Bharati's assistance in building a new discourse in the country.
I'm very happy to be here today for Pragna Bharati's Silver Jubilee. So it's good that Pragna Bharati is also celebrating Silver Jubilee. And Pragna Bharati has really came out with a debating culture. They are ready to listen to other view also. And there were various debates through these 25 years. They were hotly debated, and then there was real churning of ideas. It was real brainstorming. I have seen कि हमारे यहाँ संघ में कभी ये नहीं सिखाया कि दूसरा विचार सुनो मत, कान पर कभी हमने हाथ नहीं रखा. तो that is the freedom which is essence of all debates. And as rightly said by the public awareness publication Puraskar, and this debate is what Pragna Bharati has brought on table. And Puraskars also to so many really wonderful personalities who have contributed immensely to the nation building. If you have any good ideas, Pragna Prabha, I want you to be our think tanks, not only by ministries, but to the whole society. Because you have ability to do that. We are creating new education policy. There also I need Pragna Bharati's real guidance.
Setting the pace for the next 25 years for Pragna Bharati, Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh Sahasara Karyawah Dattatreya Hosbole said, Pragna Bharati needs to create the environment to change the national narrative.
देश के विचार की दिशा को बदलने वाले कार्य को जिन्होंने लिया है, उस कार्य के 25 वर्ष पूरा होने पर पिछले 1.5 दशकों के कार्य की समीक्षा करते हुए आने वाले, जैसे निर्मला सीतारमन जी ने कहा, 25 वर्षों के बारे में अपने पथ क्या हो, दिशा क्या हो, इस विषय को सोचने के लिए एक शुभारंभ आज कर रहे हैं। इसलिए मैं समस्त समाज के सभी कार्यकर्ताओं को साधुवाद देता हूं, हार्दिक अभिनंदन देता हूं, शुभकामनाएं व्यक्त करता हूं। प्रज्ञा भारती has been doing a pioneering intellectual activity. It is an intellectual movement. Jnanam Vijnana Sahitam, Pragna Bharati says. And Jnanam Vijnana Sahitam, science and knowledge here it is spiritual knowledge. Atma Jnana, the Brahma Jnana, and the Vijnana, the material science, both have to live together. That is the unique way that India has expressed herself for centuries. So these things have to be now brought into practice through our educational systems, in academics, in the public debate, in media and elsewhere. So that's why, as I said, discourse has to be changed. If the discourse has to be changed, then the narrative has to be changed. If the narrative has to be changed, the thinking has to change. The mindset has to change. The understanding has to change. For that, the study, rigor, academic pursuit, they are called for. And Pragna Bharati has been encouraging these intellectual activities for last 25 years. That's why I congratulate Pragna Bharati on this occasion. Pragna Bharati has to think of next 25 years. Pragna Bharati is a part of Pragna Pavaha, which is an intellectual movement in this country, which was founded by none other than the persons like, the eminent persons like Sri Sudarshan ji, Manya Dattopan Thengdi ji, Sri P. Parameshwaran ji, K.R. Malkani ji, Dr. Murli Manohar Joshi ji, such scholars belonging to National School of Thought. They founded this intellectual movement, that is Pragna Pravaha. Pragna Bharati is part of Pragna Pravaha. And this intellectual movement is contributing in its unique way to strengthen the cultural, civilizational, spiritual foundations of our national life, making it understandable for the younger generation how to reinterpret those things for the modern times. The Indian thinking doesn't say that we have to live only for the material world. The Charvaka philosophy was not accepted. He was respected as a rishi. But also we said that artha and kama are required. But dharma is the basis. So this is the Bharatiya exceptionalism. And this narrative has to flow through all our knowledge systems today. That is what the universities, particularly in social sciences, will have to propagate, will have to make research, will have to publish books. And Pragna Bharati wants to motivate such activities. That is what the Pragna Bharati has taken up as its mission.
Learning from the glorious 25 years, Pragna Bharati is all set to focus on future. It is gearing up to change the national narrative.